by the Industry Interaction Cell of IIT Madras. This session, we are going to talk about how to secure research internships abroad, and we are very happy to have with us our own degree level student, Utkarsh Sahu. Utkarsh is a degree level student at the degree level at the BS degree of the Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, and he's also recently received a research internship opportunity at the University of Montreal in Canada. And we are very happy today that he's going to be sharing his journey to the internship with us and also share some tips to our students to secure such opportunities in future. Before starting the session, I would request all of you to kindly be attentive through the session and listen to what Utkarsh is saying carefully. And after that, you can ask all your questions comfortably at the end, and we will definitely take up each one of them individually. And yeah, there was a question in the chat regarding the recording. The recording will be shared with you soon after the session, so there is no worries about that. And finally, I'll now hand over the session to Utkarsh, and let's all stay tuned to what Utkarsh has to say. Thank you.
So, hello everyone. I hope you all are doing good. As Sayan has introduced me, I'm a degree level student, and last year I did my internship at University of Montreal. That was also a fully funded research opportunity. Right now, I'm in France. I'm doing a research internship in PSL University through Chapak Lab Scholarship. And few of you might already know me as I also work as a teaching assistant for business analytics course. So I do see few people known here. So I welcome you all, and I hope session would be enjoyable for you all. If you have any query, please type in the chat box. If something is not understandable for you, just let me know if you want me to elaborate on some point. And yeah, I'll start presenting now. So I hope my screen is visible and you can see
Yeah.
this screen. You have a QR code. So I wanted this session to be interactive. So all the participants, you can scan this QR code and participate live in the session. You can give your feedback directly there, or you can go to menti.com and use this code so you can interact with me directly there. I would wait for you all to come in the chat. So you can start pressing the like button there and I'll know that you are here. I already see 3 likes. Nice. Really good. So you can scan this QR code, or else you can go to menti.com and use this. So as I've said, now let's start. I see good likes, good number of likes. So I think we are good to go. Now, what is the session about? So you have already known that this is about research internships abroad and how to secure funds and what is the due process to do. So this is our agenda. So as we have already been introduced and icebreaker has already occurred, I will first go to why you should target these research opportunities which are international. Then how you should go about selecting project mentors and location, because when you do research internship, you always do with some professor, some principal investigator, or some kind of person who has already done doctorate or postdoctorate in that field, and they generally guide you at bachelor's level, of course. Then what profile is needed for the international internships and how do you find them and how to apply? Then about few important documents, which is basically SOP, statement of purpose, CV, curriculum vitae, and LOR is basically letter of recommendation. Then comes what is the documentation process, which documents you would generally need, what is the application process, and uh, in general, application process for all these scholarships or internship opportunities, and then how you can make sure that you stand out in these opportunities and what will make sure that your profile stands out from other candidate, because these scholarships are really very competitive. A lot of students apply and very few get selected, so you need to be very sure of your profile, what to mention, what not to mention. And yeah, so let's just begin. And now, since you all are already on thementi.com, so I hope you can type in your response and what are your expectations from the session today. So I think it will be great if you can let me know what is your expectation so I can drive it more toward that. Or you can also use your Zoom chat box, whatever you are comfortable with. what is my research topic? So basically, I'm working on NLP-based project, and it is more focused on social data, as in we have transcripts of International Labour Organization and different parliaments, and we will work on that. So I see opportunities, research scope, how to find good. Nice, nice. About yourself, I think it was covered in introduction, but yeah, I'm a degree level student and I just completed my BTech from Delhi Technological University in mechanical engineering. I am teaching assistant, and yeah, these are a few basic things about me. Money, yeah. So we will discuss about these funds. This is the main thing because most of you here, even if you shoot cold mail, believe me, you will get one internship. The only problem is if you want to do in person, most of the time you won't be getting funds from the professor because they do also look for good students, and India does have a lot of good students, but main problem comes money is, is necessary if you want to do in person. But remote, if you are targeting, let's say if you are a computer science student and then you want to go for these opportunities, then remote is also good, like at least in your first 2 years of bachelor's or first 3 years you can target them because if you write a research paper, if you go for something like so if you do some good work, then you will get some LOR, and that LOR will be very beneficial later. Scholarships, right? Eligibility also, yes. Eligibility, topics, and professor. Okay, so I think now I have a little bit idea of where I should drive this session. Strong resume, yes. How to filter out, choose research topic, how to find remote. Okay, so now let's start with main thing. Why should you target these international opportunities? So first and foremost, because when you go abroad, very basic thing, even for travel, you get some exposure. So when you travel outside of India, you see a different world, especially when students go for research internships and masters or PhD. They generally target first world countries like US, Canada, UK, Europe. So you see a lot of different things and different culture which is not in India. So you also get a lot of exposure. Then comes because here the public funding for R&D is very much high. So you get access to cutting edge materials, cutting edge technology, and you do not have to rely on some other funding opportunities. So when you get here, you get one of the best labs, and you can start working on your product. You do not need to think of money and these stuff. Also, because they have already been for so long in the academia, these countries provide you some of the best professors in the field, and with their guidance, believe me, you can get some really good career trajectory. And it really helps when you have someone very experienced, someone who has been mentoring students a lot. So when you do these things, this will open a lot of opportunity. And especially when you go for masters, let's say you are targeting masters or PhD or post or whatever, when you already get these internships, when you submit your application for master's or PhD, they already see, okay, this student has been doing research work already in his bachelor's. He must be aware of the methodology. They expect you to know, they don't need to train you a lot on the research methodology. So they know you know how to read the research paper, how to write things. Technical writing is good. So they know that they don't have to train you on every aspect, as well as they know you are capable of working in a team environment where people are from different cultures and uh, races. So when you come here, you realize most of the research labs have students from India, China, and Latin America, as well as their native students, like from where in my lab we have French people as well, someone from Iran. So you work in this multicultural environment, and it is not easy to start with. So when they know you have already done these things, so these really boost your profile. These also help you in whatever thing you are going tomorrow, job, masters, these will definitely help you. So now coming to things, selecting right project, mentors, and location. So how to find opportunities, I have that slide later and I will discuss. But right now it is important to know how to select project, mentors, and location. So as of now, we are discussing about the funded opportunities. So when you apply, there are two type of funding opportunities. As in, you apply to directly to a professor. And if you are lucky enough, and if he has funds, if he thinks you will be really helpful for their project and research work, they will provide you with certain funds, and then you can go ahead. And then there are certain programs which these government runs. So they target students at bachelor level or master's level, so that they come and do 2 to 3 months of internship, and they get hang of the culture, how research culture works here, what opportunities they can get, so they can come back again. So as a student, I would suggest it is a bit easier if you target more on the programs which are already there, because they have certain criteria. You do not have to do a lot of paperwork, different this and that. Certain criteria are set, like you need transcript, CV, this and that, and you are good to go. You do not need to worry a lot. But when you directly shoot a mail to professor and you are going for in-person internship, then definitely you will need visa, and there would be a lot of document stuff and all. So you will have to go back and forth. So prefer to find some kind of opportunity like these. And I will discuss about these later. But yeah, coming to selecting right project. So when you are selecting a right project, I mean, what is your interest? And do you really want to work in that field? Let's say you are a student and somehow, I don't know, but you got some opportunity in mechanical engineering, but you are a computer science student. So just for do going abroad and traveling, don't take it. Please don't do it until unless you think you can do it. Like you have certain skill set. It does happen that student study something and they do apply in certain another department of research work, but they do have that skill set and that thing is needed for that project, so then it is okay. But then don't just pick up something for traveling abroad, I'm only into computer science, and then I see, okay, I'm getting one chemical engineering opportunity, I'll just do it, try to mold my CV according to that so that I get it. And even if I get it, believe me, that would be a blunder, because when you do travel, after that you don't know how to work, plus you will waste your 2 3 months and you will not enjoy. So in the end, whenever someone asks you, like you go for interview, you masters, you don't have anything productive to write from that internship, what you did in that project, so your 2 months everything goes into waste. It can also backfire. Like you went for international internship, you did something, and you don't have any tangible results with you. So people really think that this person is bluffing or something like that. He's not a good candidate, like he left in between. So that is why choosing the right project is necessary, because you need to know your skill set aligns your future work, or what you want to, at least for next 2 3 years. Like 2 3 years is minimum. If you think you can work with that thing 2 3 years, that is minimum. And also, let's say you are a bachelor of a student and you do this internship and the professor really likes your work, then you can also apply for masters there and you can complete that project as a thesis. So if you do select a right project, believe me, it can change your trajectory. I have seen one student, he came here last year on the same scholarship, Charpak Lab scholarship last year, and he came for master's thesis. And he wrote his master's thesis. He came back to India. He graduated his MSc. Now he's doing PhD with the same professor on a very similar topic, same, I think, same project, but similar topic. So yeah, if you are choosing your professor and project, then it is really a crucial step. Just don't start shooting everyone mail. You go and you scrape off mails, and then you start make a template, and then you start shooting mail to everyone. Please do not do that. Professors are, if someone is doing good research, he is already very busy, and do not waste their time, and also have some self-respect. So only write mails to those professors who you think can guide you and who you think are working in that field only. Do not write someone to something else just because they are teaching in Department of Computer Science. That doesn't mean they can guide you on NLP topic. Maybe he is on more of theoretical computer science or operating systems. So then uh, your subject matter should be addressed to same person of the same field. It is very necessary, because I've seen people, they just see, okay, I need one supervisor for this internship. I'll go to this university website and shoot mail to every professor. This is not the right way. Try to find someone who is in the same research area or the work you do. Then by professor, I meant mentors only, that thing. And having a right mentor is also really nice, because he is the one who will tell you what to do, what not to do, how to do. And let's say you are stuck in a problem. not necessarily academic or technical, sometimes personal, your health is not good, this and that, then he's the one who will basically help you in a longer run. Like, okay, you cannot, okay, your health is not good, then maybe you can take a week off. It's totally up to him. It's not like a corporate job that you need to clock in at certain time, you leave it certain time. Like when I work, my professor said that you can come 2 days a week or maybe 3 days a week, and rest days you can do work from home. So these things give you a lot of freedom, as well as you also know if you are shooting, just doing some random stuff with some random professor who has nothing to do with your subject area which you are trying uh, to research in, then it is not going to be fruitful. Then it is probably something just miss and match, and everything goes like a mediocre level thing, even below mediocrity. So try to focus on that, as well as location. This is not a very academic related thing, but yes, it does really matter, because let's say you go into some area where there's a lot of snow, and we as Indians are not very habitual of winters. So I've seen people getting winter depression. It is a real thing. People do not see sunlight for months, and we are habitual of seeing sunny. Even in winters, we see sun. So this is a problem. So if you are choosing something, also think that you can survive in that location, because you need to be physically present as a person. You cannot escape the climate, the people, the eating habits, because I've seen vegetarians having this problem because they come to a city and they realize a lot of people here are non-vegetarian, and they do not, when they want to eat something outside, they don't have any options, really good options. So this is also a problem. So now I think it's necessary to discuss what profile is necessary when you apply for these kind of internships. Uh, So ideally, whenever you will apply, someone talked about the eligibility. Most of the programs would say that you must have cleared at least 1 year of your education in your home institution. So minimum one, that is the minimum I'm telling. Some say 2 years, some say 18 months, depends on the program which you are applying. Uh, and if you are shooting email like directly, then it does not really matter. But when we say about structured programs like MyTax, Chapak Lab Scholarship, DART wise, so these programs have certain eligibility. These differ from program to program. So you need to go to that website. You need to do your own work to find what is the right eligibility and what paperwork is needed. But yeah, so coming to a basic profile. So I think if you are uh, just admitted, or if you are about to clear your first year, then you can do some little things which can help you in uh, maximizing the chance for these internships. First would be doing something out of your academics, as in, let's say I'm teaching assistant, so I help other students with their doubt and some lectures, other stuff, right? So you can also become a teaching assistant in some subject. Maybe you can become something related. You may give tuitions, you may do some kind of internship, small internships, not exactly like corporate or this research work. And because in first year, you will not have some solid skill set or something like that. If you already have, then you can start working with some professor. Like, obviously, you can write a cold email to him that, hi, professor, I'm this from this university, this department. If your CGP is good, mention that as well. And then you can do this thing with professor if you have skill set, and then you can do some research internship in India as well, because we do have some great labs. It's just that they do not pay much, because professor themselves do not get much in names of fund. So it's up to you. But I think when you are starting, this 2 months or 1 month is really good, like to do intern, because you don't have a lot of work. You kind of work part time. You don't have to give a lot of input. It is really what professor says and what goes on, because it is necessary, because you need letter of recommendations. Most of the programs which we talk about, as I said, my tax, Starpal, DAD, different ones, different country have different ones. There is one in SRIP in Korea, this and that. So everyone would somewhere or the other ask for one LOR, minimum one LOR. And so this becomes really painful if you do not have someone who says that, who cannot vouch for you. So either make really good relationship with your professor. Let's say in some subject you are very good, you sit on the first bench, professor knows your name by, he knows that this person is in my class, he knows your face, he knows your name, then it is okay, he can write. But Generic letter of recommendation also do not work. Let's say you go to someone professor and or you have some relative who is a professor. So you go for this thing. I've heard many people saying, my mother is a professor in some other university, I'll get one LOR. So eventually that is caught because when someone writes a LOR, when you see a actual LOR, it will be mentioning what he has done, how he has stood out from other students, and how you are sure of him that he can work in whatever internship or whatever opportunity he's applying for. So it is not like one LOR you get and you can throw it everywhere, master's application, PhD application, and internship application. It needs to be a bit personalized. So let's say when you are applying for internships, you get one LOR which is generic, but in the sense for internship. So professor can give in detail that, okay, this student has worked in my research lab. He has shown diligence. He knows how to read papers and he has done this work. He has also helped me as a teaching assistant. So these things, basically, the more detail they go in, that helps a lot because LORs are one of the most important things which they look after. Like after your own details, the first thing they see is LOR. So LOR is really necessary, and to get LOR, you already need to do something. So that is why I'm saying to build your profile, do something from where you can get some kind of LOR, like TA ships, some kind of help, maybe in building course material, handling course website. Like we have this course, every university have their own course websites, so you can do this and that, some short things. And maybe I've seen people working in NGO, so uh, LORs not necessarily need to come from professor. Sometimes they also say you can give LOR. So LOR can be from NGO or maybe some company you work for, some startup. So do something. Do not waste your first year in just it's just first year. So let's enjoy. Sometimes because competition is going on very high, cutthroat competition. And if you want something, then I will suggest at least first semester I understand, but after first semester, I'll say try to do something which will help you. I mean, at least building discipline. So that is why I'm saying when I talk about profile for international internships, uh, starting for first year, do something extra, and maybe if you can do in second year, try for some research work, like because that is how you will know if you can do that thing uh, in for international internships or maybe for masters or maybe for PhD. Then you know that niche area can help you. So I also personally did one internship in my college, but I did not like that topic that much. So 2 months later I just dropped that thing. I mean, that was the tenure. So after 2 months it finished off, and I never went more into that area. So I know that, okay, I'm sure of that thing, that now I do not need to expand my self on that area. So that is why it is necessary to try and check before. You just do not land and, okay, this is operating systems. Oh, I don't know. So this should not happen ideally. That is why, I mean, they do have checks and processes to make sure that you have something with professor that you can work. But this is necessary that you already know in which field you want to work, and you have some things which will help you in the application process. So that is why when you are targeting these internships, have something by the end of second year, something substantial which you can show, LORs and some research work or maybe some TA-ship or something which is outside of curriculum. Don't just say that I secured 10 CGPA in this subject. Most of the students can, and this really does not help you in standing out. So yeah, few points related to profile, because when you apply for international internships, especially research one, they need you to already have done some kind of training, because in 2 to 3 months they cannot train you how to read uh, papers, how to read this and that thing. So technical writing and technical reading is a different aspect altogether. So you need to know these things. I see one hand raised up. So can you write that thing in chat, or if you have already written? I see one comment from Nikhil in the chat that he has filled for TA ships. It happens. I am TA for business analytics, but I also gave one interview last time. I did not clear it. So the failure is also part of the process. You need to take rejections well. You need to take these feedbacks. That is what I am saying. When you build profile, you will apply to a lot of things. You will get feedback. You will know how to deal with failure, because uh, these things, teach you a lot. Failure is a part of process. You need to know. You will get rejections. I also got rejection, and this Charpak scholarship, which I am talking about, the reason I'm in France, I was waitlisted earlier. So I applied in January. I was waitlisted when the result came, and I got the final results in June mid. So I mean, yeah, you need to incorporate feedback and you do not need to dishearten yourself ki I'm not getting this thing. So do not lose hopes. Have something in with yourself. You will get something. Uh, what is the situation worse? Let's say CGPA is mid, but have something. Yeah, they do not care. My CGPA was 8.5 when both the times. Now it has decreased a little, 8.47. But when I applied for my tax, it was 8.52. And right now it is 8.47. So it is not like just some strict cutoff of numbers. They generally have this thing. What do I say? Basic criteria which you will fulfill anyway, like 80% total or 70% total. So I think 70% is very much manageable. If you are not doing this thing, then believe me, you're not a fit because uh, doing these things requires a certain amount of discipline. So I think it is really necessary. Uh, has he put down his hand or has he asked the question? I do not see that thing. How do we get an LOR? I'll talk about this thing later. First year of masters. No, I just completed my BTech and in the degree level. Corporate value LORs. No, corporate do not take LORs. Corporate have their own function. Even IIT won't provide LOR. Who how to get this? Okay. So IITs do not provide LOR. These would be taken in the end. Yes. So now these are the options which I'm talking about. So these are some standard research opportunities which you will have. I'll paste one link later. But yeah, so first and foremost, one of the most important thing in these programs is my tax research internship. But unfortunately, my tax and one more, which is DART-wise, these two were most famous in the Indian students for doing these internships. My tax and DART both used to give 3 month research opportunity, and it also used to be fully funded. I mean, what funds they used to give was enough for students to survive until unless you are going in very expensive city. Like it's up to you how you choose. But yeah, coming back to these things. So my tax was for Canada, DAD was for Germany, Chapak, which I am doing right now, is for France. Similarly, you have for Switzerland, and also there are certain labs which do their own program. So like there is one institute known as Max Planck in Germany. They also have their own program. So Max Planck is like you can compare to IIT, like we say IIT and different cities. So similarly, we have Max Planck and Max Planck Institute for different research area and everything, psychology, neuroscience, biology, physics, chemistry, math, whatever you want. Max Planck Institute would be there for that. So if you already have some work already and you do not see any kind of program, then maybe you can go to Max Planck website and search that thing. Else, for computer science student, Max Planck does have a program like MyTax and Charpak. So that also opens up. And I am pasting a link right now in chat. You can see that thing. So, oh, sorry, this went to someone else, everyone. I'm pasting this link in the chat. So you all can have a look here. And yeah, these are few standard ones. You can go ahead and I will not waste time in like describing about each of them because in general, all of them are similar to each other. So you do not need to worry. And people who are raising your hand, keep these things raised because Q&A will be done in the end. So yeah, uh, so these were few options. Again, I'll say target few ones like MyTax and Dart have been closed because of the partnership issues right now. But for Charpak, like it will open in December. So keep a tab on these things. Talk to people who have already done these things to know what was their process, how did they find this and that. So it's not just listening to me and then you start applying. Have multiple opinions with you. It is always necessary to get alternative opinions and how things happen for them. So this is necessary, and for the list of options you have it. And every institute have for some kind of program, like especially US, Canada, uh, entire Europe, you will find something. Even Japan and Korea also have. So China, I'm not sure, but Japan and Korea do have it. And I have seen people from my college to go there. So yeah, you can try it. And like OIST is for Japan. And similarly, there is something SIPT or SIRP, something for Taiwan and Korea. So you need to do this thing on your own. This list is not, I have written this thing very clearly. This list is not exhaustive. So it's not like end of the world. Every year programs get deleted, every year things get added. So what I personally prefer is uh, my search engine like Google. I do not touch that thing. My right now my feed is automatically, like I used to search a lot in my first year, second year, which institute to go, which research area to find, which lab has this kind of professor. So automatically recommendations start coming like that, and now I do not search some random stuff there. I open Google Incognito and search it there. So you will also have something like this, like when you search more, you will also start getting recommendation from Google and all. So do your own work. When you search more on LinkedIn, when you follow more people from these kind of profile on LinkedIn, then automatically the AI will recommend you whom to follow, what to get, few advices. So when you start doing your own work, you will also have more opportunities. You do not only rely, okay, Utkarsh told about Charpak and my tax, but I applied and I got rejected. So it's better to have multiple people in your network, so that whatever they post, whatever they like I have found professors like this. Someone commented on someone's professor's field and he was my connection. So I went to his profile, I checked professor's profile, and then I was like, okay, he also does the same thing. I opened his Google Scholar page, found his email, wrote it to him. So this is how it helps. Like that is why I'm saying you need to do your own research to how to find these things. As in, certain programs I've given, and the list is very long. Believe me, you will only apply to 4 to 5 things. Process is lengthy because you write SOP, LOR, this and that. So process lengthy. Generally, I've seen people applying to 4 to 5, and if you are good enough, you do get something. So nice. So now we come to one of the most important things, SOP, CV, LOR. Whatever program you are applying to, let's say even you are applying for cold email and you want professor to fund it later, not through a structured program like Chapak, My Tax, this and that. So even then professors need your CV, at least that is the bare minimum. And sometimes they do ask for LOR. And let's say you are writing cold email, you yourself attached LOR, that is also good. Or you can mention that if you want this professor can refer me, let me know if you want to have a talk with them. So uh, having these 3 documents is the bare minimum which you need when you start applying for these scholarships. SOP or letter of motivation, something similar name would be there. So that helps you uh, basically helps you about why you want to do this internship, this and that. So uh, what is your main objective, why you want to do internship, uh, what skill set you already have, how are you perfect fit for this thing. So SOP is basically a kind of document which will highlight your motivation, why you are a best fit, something on that line. Because some programs do not ask for SOP. They will say letter of motivation, or they will say answer these 3 questions, and the 3 question would be something like, why do you think you are perfect for this program? Why do you want to come to France for doing an internship opportunity? So somewhere around these lines, where they will ask for your motivation, how you are a perfect fit, what you have already done, and how do you see this thing help you in future. So somewhere or the other, this SOP part will help you. So have this thing in already handy with you whenever you craft. Make sure your SOP is personalized. So let's say when I applied for Dartwise, I was rejected for that, Germany. Dartwise is basically 3 month research in Germany. So when I applied, they asked for SOP. So in SOP or letter of motivation, you need to highlight what work you have done, how the project is relevant to your skill set, and what work you do, and how this internship or scholarship opportunity will help you in future. So all these 3 things come in one document. But when I applied for my tax last year, they do not ask for SOP. Instead, I said they asked certain columns. How they asked like something, what is your research experience, how much have you worked with international people, something like this. They asked what is the skill set, how do you think you can bring change, somewhere or the other you understand these things. So this is what I mean by SOP. So have your motivation, have your these things at least in bullet points. I'm not saying have something already written by Grammarly or LLM, some kind of chat GPT thing, because that is not good. So have main pointers like I am a student, I have this CGPA, I have previous experience of this. So have these points ready with you whenever you have. You can make some changes in some format, and ideally they describe length of SOP, letter of motivation, whatever specific length is there. So do follow that. Do not go like they're asking for 200 words and I'll write a 1,000 word essay. They will not see. It will be cut off in between. So it is necessary to follow these instructions as well. And conveying your things in less word is seen necessary, because in that, whenever you do research, you will have to write some paper and you do not write essays there. Technical research paper is way compact, way precise, and straightforward. So the amount of jargon you use, what you do, these things get reflected here as well. Coming to CV, obviously, whenever you apply to any position, this document is needed. When you apply for corporates, generally they ask for resume, so resume is short. CV is something which is generally big. Still, I will suggest keep your CV maximum 2 pages, because we do not have anything. We have not done something brilliant as of now. Even if you have done intern, yeah, right now my CV is 2 page. Still, I get this much left in the end. So try to be compact. Do not include every project you have done, every kind of internship you have done, or everything. It should be relevant when you are applying. Let's say I'm applying for some research work. I put up internships which are related to my computer science skills, because that's where I work. I do not put up, let's say, I've seen students writing sales internship, startup things they do for some money, freelance work. So do not write everything there. It needs to be compact and relevant. I will share one link which I personally follow for template of CV. So I'll share that thing in just a second. So yeah, having a CV in a compact format, which is good to look at, neat and clean, just maximum 2 wings. Even say have it one, but maximum 2 wings. Do not make it rainbowish kind of thing, because if you go, professors have their website and CV very plain. Like you will just see Microsoft Word. They won't even change formats. So most of the professors would have their website and CV very plain. So keep this thing similar, keep it neat and clean, highlight main things. Regarding CV, I have sent one link. You all can see that thing as well. And I'm telling few things. So also when you write, have few things like objective, as in first thing should be objective. At least when you are applying for these research internships, these is not applicable for corporate world. Corporate world, you need one crisp one pager resume. So you do not add lot of things. But when you are applying for these internships or let's say masters, then your CV must have a small objective line in the top after your name, contact details, small objective like a student with interest in this and this, who has experience from internship and college volunteer work, this and that, and looking forward for improving, let's say, uh, uh, this let's say improving my skills, or looking forward to create web solutions. If you are a web developer, like I write this thing, looking forward to create efficient web solutions, so something like that in overview, 2 3 lines, more than enough. Then your education history must, because this is what they look most. uh, I'm not saying they focus on CGPA, but they look at your education history. If they see your curve is going up, as in as a high school, they do look at your education background completely. So mention from your 10th, 12th, and your degrees, what you have done. Also, some people mention important coursework in the education section. I personally mentioned that thing somewhere else. But if you want, you can mention your education or achievements directly in the, let's say I'm writing IIT Madras, so I'll write there which coursework I have done. Let's say business analytics, business data management, software engineering, this and that. I'll write relevant courses there. Then I'll write, let's say, achievement, one essay competition, cash prize, this and that. Some people do that. Some people put all these things separate. So I put these things separate, and I think it is more clean. And yeah, I also suggest this thing to keep your things separated. But yeah, you need to definitely mention your education. CGPA in CV is must, but I have seen many people when they write cold email, they what they do, they mention their CV. But when you are writing your cold email, if your CGPA is, let's say, 8.5, 8 above, then it's good enough. Let's say overall CGPA is 8.5 and the professor you are targeting is NLP ka professor. So if you're targeting some NLP professor and you have done some kind of NLP coursework, then you can write my overall CGPA is 8.5, but I have CGPA in NLP or this and that as 10 or 10 out of 10 or O grade outstanding grade in this subject. So then that goes up. But let's say you have CGPA of 6 or something not that good. I understand. It's not like they will reject you, but do not mention these things straightforward because when you give them some chance and they see, okay, his CGPA is very bad, in the first impression goes very down, then these chances for securing internship becomes less. So at least when you are writing your cold email, going through cold email, then make sure that whatever you are writing, it is something relevant to them. Okay. So I talked about SOP, CV, LOR. Okay. If you are applying via, let's say, cold email, LOR would not be needed, most probably. But let's say you are applying through a program, which I have shared, like in the link, the two GitHub links I have shared. So then you will see this thing. It would be most of them, let's say it would be exception for someone not to ask for LOR, but most of them would definitely need an LOR. A single LOR is must. So, and many a times they say educational LOR is must. So they will say one LOR from professor is must. And let's say you want to attach 2 or 3 LORs in total. So then it can come from internship or your if you have already some kind of job experience. Like generally, when people apply for masters, one LOR from professor is must, but other two can be from anywhere. So yeah, similarly, that is why I was saying whenever you start targeting these internship, it is not just you wake up one day and next day you start applying. Uh, uh, for next year cohort, like internships generally occur in summer, like June, July, August, and September. Some also start in May. So this totally depends on the program. But in general, they occur around the middle months. So you still have some time. You can do some 2, 3 months internship if you already know that you don't have any kind of LOR. So target one professor, ideally, as in whom you can trust that yes, if I do his work, as in I can work in this field, and if I do this for him, talk to them earlier. Like you do not just go this thing, just tell them that professor, I'm targeting this scholarship or this internship, and if you can take me as an intern, this will help me as doing research methodology, exploring this field, help me discover my passion for such field. And then I can, and then later, will you provide me LOR? Just ask them straightforward. So I've seen people, they just go and say, Professor, I want to work, and then later professor says, I never promised an LOR. Why should I write an LOR? This in India it does happen. Professors generally do not write LOR. So if you have some good relationships, I've seen people who did not do any kind of research work, but their professor, based on their class performance, they gave them LOR, and that is sufficient. So that is totally professor's discretion to give you an LOR. So you need to assess in what condition you are in and what kind of professors you have. Let's say you are only an IITM student, then only IITM students have a lot of opportunity. In-person TAships, in-person internships, there are a lot of there. And even in India, you have a lot of research labs. Like our IIT Madras, we have this Robert Bosch Data Science and Artificial Intelligence, RBDSCAI, something like that. So they need they whenever you go to these websites, they have always opportunities open for intern or uh, residents, as in they target student who can stay for 1 year and do the work. So if you are a student, let's say only IITM, you know, you do not interact with professors directly. IITM based degree I'm talking about. You do not interact with professors in a classroom. Then they do not give LOR because that is the main thing. LOR cannot be given to anyone just because he scored 100 out of 100. So you need to do something substantial, which professor can professionally and on a personal level vouch you for. That yes, I know this person. I'm pretty sure that he will perform good in your research lab and he will not do something uh, absurd or something unethical. That is why when you build your profile, it is necessary that one professor, one person from your department is necessary. At least I'm telling you, a few programs I've seen, they have this criteria. You need to get LOR from your HOD. So this becomes difficult. So it's up to you. If you have access to these things, choose the program which you're targeting. Know your things. beforehand, let's say, okay, I know my tax asks for minimum one LOR. So by the when even before the application starts, I need to make sure I have one person who will give me LOR. So this is necessary, uh, right? And like Charpak, I remember Charpak does not ask for LOR. As far as I remember, I'm not sure. I forgot this thing because I applied last year. Deadline was in December. So pretty sure they do not ask for LOR. If you have, you can attach, but they do not ask for this. So, and especially like for my tax, they say we need 80% of 80%, sorry, CGPA, something like that. And similarly, like Chapak says, we do not have any cutoff for CGPA. So this totally depends on country which you are trying to apply, which program you are trying to apply. They go for it. So that is what they go. And yeah, I just checked it online. Charpak does not require for LOR. So there are certain programs that do not require for LOR. And when I say international work, research internship does not necessarily mean to go to a lab and do this VC chemicals mixing and all. It can be very simple thing as well. So I have seen people applying for GSOC. In GSOC, you have certain organization which make code or some code which is used by researchers. So you can do that as well. You not necessarily need to go into theoretical things. If you think you are good in development, web development, app development, whatever, find certain open source organization, do something. So when I say profile building, you can do these open source contribution as well. Like NumPy, the TensorFlow, they actively need open source people to help them in their code base. So let's say you can do this as well. Like my internship in my tax was to build a platform, not build, basically, we already had that thing, which is used by professors and researchers to do literature review. And that was a completely web development based project. Nothing I didn't have to read any kind of research paper or something like that. So when I say these things, you also, I just hope you get this thing that research internship does not necessarily mean reading research paper and mixing chemicals and doing some kind of biology stuff. Research lab work means you find certain problem which exists and you try to solve that thing. Okay. So now, documentation and application process. So if you are done with your homework, as in you know which program you want to target, where you will get more funds, where you can find professor, which city you can live in, something like that, then you can start documentation stuff and application. So as in you can, let's say you are targeting some program, then you can check its deadline, make an Excel sheet, write every program, starting date of deadline, when application open, when application cuts goes down, and what documents are needed. Prepare your checklist already with you. You cannot do this thing every time going website this and that. So let's say when you are applying for cold emailing is also necessary because like Charpak and Dard, they do not give you list of projects. They will say find some professor who will host you as a supervisor, we will just give you money. So this is very common, and most of the programs will have structure like this. Find a professor on your own, get an invitation letter from him, and apply to us. We will assess your profile, and if we find you are good, we will give you the money. And few programs, on the other hand, they will already have professors in their database with their own projects. So you apply and for projects, select few of them, and you rank them, and professors select you if they want. So MyTax is one of them. Unfortunately, my tax has been closed for, I think, maybe I don't know how many years, but right now it is closed. So my tax and DART you cannot target, but rest opportunities you should look after. So this used to happen as in you go to my tax portal, you upload your personal documents, this and that, and then you see the portal page with the list of projects. So they used to have, let's say, 1500, 1600 projects, every field, law, English, Hindi, sorry, law, English, French, literature, drama, this and that, computer science, biology, chemical engineering, everything they have. You need to find your project and submit them. And then those professor would be notified and they used to look at it. So uh, that is why when you start application process, you need to know. Like for Charpak, application process means at that time you will submit your application with the documents. If you are trying to mail professors and trying to find professor in that time, believe me, you won't get some good results because the process itself take time. Professor will interview you or look at your CV, something or somewhere. So it does take time. Do these things beforehand. That is what I'm saying by documentation and application process. When your application process starts, you must have all the documents which are needed. Invitation letter from professor, however you get it, cold email, whatever you want to try. So you need to have it. Passport, if you are targeting international internships, have your passport already. I mean, this is a basic requirement. I think most of you must have it. If not, have it. It will help in anything. Like it's a good thing to have. 1500 rupees, you get your passport made. So get it done already. At least it is not like they will say you need passport to apply, but when you get selected, it is quick to get visa that time. So at least apply for passport and have it already. And few programs do say that they need your passport to apply. So yeah, it's up to the program if they want passport or not, but it's always better to have passport and transcripts already. I mean, I've seen people struggling, they do not get transcripts from their college. If you do not have the online version like we have for IT MBS, few colleges do not release their transcripts online. So if you do not have transcripts online and you need something, so have these things already before application process starts, because once it starts, you only get 1 month to 1.5 month. And in that time, if you're trying to write cold emails, hey professor, if you like to host me, I am this and this, it will take some up to 2 to 3 weeks. It's always better to do these things earlier. So passport is better if you have it already. It's not necessarily, but at least for these things, transcripts, LOR, try to get these things sorted. And how to stand out. So this is very necessary, as in uh, they give you. Why do you think these countries are giving you opportunity to come and do it at only 2 month internship? Why do you think this is happening? The reason is these countries do not have a lot of people like India. Population is very less. Plus, they do not have people to fill in their seats, as in they want some good amount of people to do research work and work there, but they do not have enough workforce to do these things. Most of the people are not skilled enough, so they need people from other countries to come here and study, or that is why you get these scholarships. So what happens when students come for internship, they get certain hang of things. Okay, this is how this city works. Okay, for research work, oh my god, they have this amount of GPU. I do not need to, go to lab again and again. I have my personal computer for GPU. So you understand these things, and they also give you some kind of payback. I mean, my tax which I did last year, they say if you come back for master's, PhD, or postdoc, they will give you 1500, sorry, 15,000 Canadian dollars. It's like a coming back return thing. If you come back, you get that thing for sure, and whatever scholarship you get from college or whatever thing you want. So these things are necessary to know, because that is why they target you. So how to they need someone in the end who can stay back, like that. That is why they target. So if you know the language of country, I'm not saying by heart, but at least you know few basic things, or something which you can relate to, something which you can help them, as in tell that, okay, I am applying to this professor because this professor has, let's say, very high H index in some subject, whatever work you are researching in. His work has been already done. When you are shooting your cold email, make sure you at least read one research paper of that professor and talk about it. Okay, hi professor, I'm this and that. In the middle part, I read your research paper, title, whatever it is, and I find it quite interesting. Discuss something about it. So this makes you stand out from the whole crowd. When you are writing cold email, just attaching your CV and saying, hey professor, I'm this and this from IIT Madras, PS degree, and I want to work. It does not stand out, and most probably he will ignore, and it does happen. So if you want your application, let's say cold email, to stand out, or let's say application to these structured programs like MyTaxStart, Charpak, and all that stuff, so you need something which they see, okay, this candidate has potential and he might come back for masters or whatever thing. So highlight those things. Like maybe you can say, like in my Charpak, I said that I lived in Montreal last year, and it is a French city. So I said that I know basic things to communicate in French. I understand this and that, because they ask if you know language or not. So I said that I do know a little bit. These things, like contacting to professor and highlighting these things, like I have done coursework in, let's say, business analytics, this and that. I have written few technical blogs on business analytics, and then I say my professor is one of the best researchers in business analytics. So these things, uh, they connect these dots and they see, okay, this guy is planning something good in that field. They know for sure. So these things increase your chance. So if you are planning something like this, make sure that your coursework, like coursework as in, let's say, if you're planning for NLP research, let's say, and you only have one subject, then this is not something they really feel like, okay, this guy is planning for doing internship in maths, but he has only two subject of maths. Then how is it possible then? So make sure your coursework electives which you choose are also complementing what you want to do, something like that, electives, coursework, or letter of recommendation. Let's say you have letter of recommendation from professor who taught you fluid dynamics, and you are submitting it for computer science, natural language processing. That doesn't make sense. So things should connect to each other. That is what is meant, how you stand out. And language, if you have this thing, believe me, uh, learning language opens a lot of door, and it is an asset anywhere, like regardless you want to go into industry, corporate, wherever. So if you have time, if you have luxury, if you can learn some language, maybe A1 A2 level, YouTube is there, basic stuff at least you can know. So start learning, maybe it will help you somewhere or the other. Even when you apply for these things, professors look up to these things. Some professors, like my professor, he speaks English but not really a good one. He is more of a French person. So when I told him at least I can communicate basic stuff, then he was like, "Oh, that's nice. These things help to stand out." Like in my Charpak application, when I wrote this thing in my when they asked this thing, something like letter of motivation, they asked me, uh, how do you think this internship opportunity will help you in future? So I told them that French president came recently in our, I think, Republic Day, and he said that he wants Indian students to come to France to study. So I highlighted that fact. So a little bit of general knowledge and how you craft your words, how you present yourself, these things help you stand out. So I think, uh, yeah, I mean, initially I was waitlisted, so it was not like I got selected for this thing in the first go. When results came, even if you go to Charpak website, Charpak Lab Scholarship, 2024 result, you will see my name in waitlist. I think it was way down, and I don't know, it was something or else, but later it got cleared. So do not lose your heart. Try your best. If things happen, good enough. And it's not necessary that you need to get an international internship to succeed. You can do remote work as well. You can take open source programs. There are a lot of them: GSOC, Julia Summer of Code, and this and that. So you can do these things, have similar implication, and they highlight your achievements, how much dedicated, disciplined, and targeted to your field you are. Okay. So that's a wrap as of now, and we will start Q&A. I think we are a little bit behind of time, but it's good. I think I tried to cover everything in detail, and I've shared few links. And this is my email. You can note it down. I'll put it out in the chat, my email, and someone did already pasted, I think, my LinkedIn. So yeah, you can have that as well. This is my email, my roll number, and you can attach if in future you need something. This is my roll number and you can contact me. Okay, so I'll stop sharing right now. And yeah, Syan, I think you can start asking me the
Yeah, first of all,
questions.
Utkarsh, thank you for the session. It was really informative, and I think all of us, including me, and I think everyone here have learned from it. And thank you for the tips and the links you shared. I think that will be very useful for us to find a good list of resources. Okay, there are a few interesting questions in the chat, so let's quickly go through them. So I'll start with the
Mhm.
recent one. Should we start with coding ML and DL before writing research papers, or should we do the other way around?
ML and DL is not necessary for research internship. So I generally see people, there is lot of what do we say, hauwa bana diya cheezon ka. So this is lot of overhyped thing. ML and DL is not necessarily needed for everything you do. And if you know basic web development, like what I do, I'm saying it is an LP project, but it is an overall. Like I need to do some basic NLP tasks, and after that, I need to make a web portal for that. My personal skills are web development only, not much of DL or ML. I do know things, but not in that detail, like as in a perfect ML engineer, or you can say someone like that. So you need to know basic things, as in coding, as in you need to know how things work in code. It's not necessarily you will code in Python only. So yeah, if you know Python, it is good enough. You know how basic structure work, so you're good to go. You just need to know how, which area you are targeting, and how much things are needed for that. Let's say if someone is specifically targeting ML and DL, then definitely you need to know TensorFlow and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's a basic requirement, because for core ML and core deep learning stuff, you need to know TensorFlow, Keras. There are different libraries. Someone more specific focused on that, he can tell you what you need to know. But yes, whatever you are targeting, you will by default know these things. Let's say I'm targeting web development. I know these are some frameworks which people work on, certain design patterns like this and that. So that is what you need to know. Not necessarily everyone need not to do ML and DL. Computer science has a lot of fields. Please explore them. Please, you get more opportunity when you move away from ML and DL.
Okay. So that was great. So the next question is, how do we start writing our first research paper? How do we get into research?
It's not again, it's not necessarily needed to apply for these scholarships and program. I, as of now, do not have any research paper. Okay, so it's not needed. It's not like people think that okay, you need to do research internship. You already need to have. What is needed is if you can write technical paper like blogs or something. Technical writing and technical reading is different from our normal reading writing. So if you know that thing, that is more than enough. But yes, if you already know, if you have one paper, then it will boost up. And how to get one paper, I will suggest try to contact some professor and work with him. uh, they generally help, because in India, if you want to get things published, you need some professor to work with. Solo work is possible, but it is again a lot of difficulties. So it is better to have someone to guide you, to mentor you, and he will help you with everything like how to write manuscript, uh, process of the submitting, getting through editorial board, this and that. So it is always beneficial to have it with professors. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that. The next question is, how do we ask for LOR from our professors at IITM or any other college we are? That's the question.
IITM, they do not give, because they provide letter of support, but IITM does not give LOR. Like, so let's say I go to professors, I have scored, let's say I scored S in uh, programming in Python. I go and ask to Darshan sir, please, can you give me an LOR? He will not give me, because he does not know me. He has not taught me in person. He does not know me. He has not done anything which gives him confidence to say that okay, I know this person and he will do good. But I have been teaching assistant for 2 terms, like this term and last term, for business analytics. So when I go to Rahul sir and say, sir, I need an LOR, then he can definitely vouch for me. So if you have not done something on substantial with that professor, research work, teaching assistantship, whatever, like helping him with doing grading, this and that, whatever, that need to be there. Even if let's say you are in attending in-person college, and there you have one good connect with teacher, then that is also enough. Let's say you daily participate in your class things, class activities, whatever he asks you answer. So you sit, it's not necessarily sitting on the front bench, but yeah, like you are interactive in the class. So that also helps, not necessarily that thing. But yeah, I've seen this problem, especially students who do only IIT and BS degree. So believe me, they prefer you people for coming to in person, these things, TA ships and all. So yes, I mean, try to do something somewhere. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily like you need to do IITM LOR from IITM BS professors. Find some college which is near around you. Do there.
Yes. Okay, the next question is, it's a personal question to you, I think. What made you stand out? That is, in what opinion is your set of skills setting you apart?
I think I think I started a bit early, as in I was well aware of programming. From my school days, I already had computer science as a subject. And when I came to college, as in my first year, went in this COVID thing. So when I started COVID, maybe we used to have a lot of time. I started learning web development. I was knowing enough as a friend, a first year student. So in my second year, I got one good project. It was national level project of Central Adoption Resource Authority. So there I worked on that project. I got something, and when I applied next time, it like in my tax. When I was applying in my second year for the third year internships in third year, as in like you will apply this year, you will get internship next year. So when I was applying in my second year, I already had this thing, and I applied for only web development based project, because at that time my ML knowledge was not really good. So just basic stuff. So then that's how I got it. Like, I mean, they see how what you have done, what kind of projects you have done. Like my MyTax there was an interview for MyTax. Professor took that thing. So I already knew all the thing. He asked me to write SQL queries about designing. Like we have this MVC architecture, how things propagate, cookies, session, this and that. So depends on how it's like personal thing again, but it depends on the professor who is taking an interview. And let's say how much they value things. Like Dart, I know for sure, they set their criteria as 8.5 eligibility to apply, like 8.5 CGP or 85%. But they only select students who are 9 plus. They do not select. This is a unsaid rule, but they do not select. So like Charpak, I know they do not focus much more on your CGP or percentage. So this again differs from people to people and what and not. But yeah, and once you get something, let's say you only do remote research work, like you mailed someone and you got that thing. So then also that you can get LOR and you can show that research work. You do not need to tell them you came to France or you were doing it in your home. So it's okay. You can ask for remote internships and write that work in your experience. That will also help you stand out.
Yeah, that was great. So we have the next question that is asking that suppose we are full-time students without an on-campus conventional degree, is it going to be
Mhm.
difficult to grab these opportunities or can we stand out in this case too?
No, I applied both these opportunities with IIT Madras ID only because my BTech degree was in mechanical. So I thought when I apply with, like, let's say you apply, they see your student ID, your grade cards. So I was under my personal dilemma. I think if I used to apply with, let's say I mentioned that I'm bachelor's of technology from mechanical engineering and I'm applying for these computer science project, maybe they can reject me. So I used to write in my personal information like IT Madras, BS degree, this and that. And in my CV, I used to mention both the degree. So that's the thing. But it's not like they stop you from applying because you have a bachelor's degree and they want a bachelor student. If you satisfy these criteria, let's say they say 70% minimum, at least 2 semesters or some time amount, they say like 18 months you have done already. So this is what they look after. If you satisfy these things, good to go.
Okay, now this is an interesting question on chat GPT based emails. So nowadays there are a lot of emails that people are sending based on chat GPTs, and obviously professors, if they find out, they will not appreciate it that much. So the question
Okay.
is that in your emails now, because with this chat GPT, should you make them so that becomes more realistic, or should you make them formal, which may feel fake also?
No. Okay, one thing. Do not write informal mails. Do not do this thing. You will stand out, but in a bad way. So do not do that thing. At least when you are applying on cold mails. So, okay. First of all, nobody believes me. If you have one professor, ask them, do you check your mails if it is written by ChatGPT or something like that? What they check is genuinity. They know most of the students are from non-native speaking countries, English speaking countries. So they know this thing. So when you can, I mean, I'm not saying necessarily do some mistake, but if you are doing some grammatical error or if it is not like uh, some perfect expression of words, it's okay. Write in plain English. I am this and this from this college. This is my CGPA. This course that I've done. I have read it. This is this paper. This is the opportunity. When you are applying, let's say for some opportunity, let's say like when I applied for Charpak, so I used to attach the Charpak information website in the mail so that they know, okay, I will get funding from somewhere else. They get this information. So these things are important, but never write informal mail and do not write completely chat GPT wala thing. So chat GPT, use it. Like I'm not saying do not use it. You have some paragraph, use it. Say, can you improve my expression? How can I write it in more better way? These things you can do bits and pieces, but complete mail, pura copy paste is not advisable. But they do use even professors also. When I used to work on my text, my project work was in PHP language, and I was not comfortable with it. My professor used to open ChatGPT and ask how to do this and this in PHP, and it used to give me code, and he says, have it, let's try. We used to do it. So it's not like uh, they will say not to use ChatGPT or to completely use ChatGPT. Use it to better yourself. Use AI to help yourself and make AI more better. Okay.
Yeah, I think that was a great piece of advice. So I think let's just ask one more question because we are slightly short of time. So this question is a little long that many of the research internships are available on those who are already in their undergrad or pursuing masters. Now I'm
Mhm.
graduating next year with masters and with the undergrad, and I'm going to plan to pursue the masters by 2027 fall. And I believe having a research internship in my profile will boost my chances. So the question is there any research internships opening for next year and how can I stay tuned with the updates?
Uh, if you have already graduated, these programs I do not think you will be able to apply, but few of them do allow. Like as I told for Japan and this Max Planck Software Institute research internship, you will find it. They allow students up to 1 year, like after they have dropped out, after they have completed their bachelor's. Okay, and so this is, I mean, depends on program. But what you can do is, let's say, eventually, you will plan your masters. So what you can do instead of you can ask, I mean, write cold email and tell them that, Professor, I'm looking for some long term. So when you say long term, like for 2, 3 months internship, no one will give you funds, and because it's a again good process, okay, a lot of administration stuff happens. So, but when you say, hey, Professor, I have graduated my bachelor's with data science, and now I have to work for 1 year or 1.5 year, 8 months, something like that, long period. Believe me, they will reply, and if you are for long period, you will be like legally obliged to get some funds. Like in France, it's a legal obligation. If you are doing your internship greater than 2 months, they will provide you with minimum stipend, minimum wages criteria, and health benefits, insurance, and all that stuff is on them. 50% of the metro fare is also on them. So when you do for long term, lot of things get easier. So yeah,
Okay, I think that was a
and
great reply. So Utkarsh, I think we are short of time. So
mhm.
if it's convenient to you, can the other students reach out to you on LinkedIn if they have any queries?
Yeah, definitely. I've pasted my mail, and I think you already people are discussing about my LinkedIn. I do
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
get
Yes.
track of chat, but yeah, one thing I saw in the chats, I want to discuss this thing. So when you shoot how to find professors, I have one advice. You can go to Google Scholar and find it there. Like, let's say you know one professor, he works in business analytics. Go to his profile, you will get these topics on which he works just below his picture: business analytics, regression, operation research. Click on one, you will get profiles of all the professors who work in the same field and from all the countries. So let's say when I was doing applying for Charpak, what I used to do, I get this thing, all the professors in business analytics, or whatever area I want to work in. I put Control F and use .fr, as in to get professors whose email ID ending with .fr. So I know these professors will be in France. So then you can filter out based on countries. Let's say you are targeting certain countries. Also, you can have one Twitter ID for technical stuff, and this really helps because my current Charco professor, I reached out to him via Twitter, and because most of the professors, they do post their research work, some conference or paper published, this achievement on LinkedIn as well as Twitter. So Tech Twitter is really good platform. Tech Twitter as in Twitter ID specifically for tech. So make one ID and follow these people. You will also get recommendations. As I said, like Google Pay, if you search, you also get certain recommendation yourselves. So similarly, you'll have these people, and once you roll, let's say my professor last year, I was applying for MyTech, ZAD, and Charpak last year, but by the time I was applying for Charpak, my MyTech result came, so I stopped. But last year only, like he followed me back on Twitter, so I knew this person can be talked and approached. So I directly DM'd him on Twitter and then sent him email. So yeah, you can do this stuff as well. I mean, from wherever you get opportunity. Even Instagram, I won't suggest Instagram, but let's say you get people who talk about these things. I've seen many creators who talk about scholarships, internships, and funded opportunities. Follow them. You'll get more recommendation from the same side. In Apple, you tell a bit more like story, like it's the same in SOP. Yeah, SOPs and all this stuff is same. Like you need to tell story, and you need to tell why you are perfect cut out for the internship, and how are you having skill sets, this and that for the same thing. So yeah, I mean, I think we're good to go. Hmm. Yes, like in India, we do have some good labs. You can try these things, as in RB, this Robert Bosch. You have biology, medical, and all. People also have good of CSIR labs, I think. So try this. Also, all our IITs are having good lab professors there to have some kind of research work. So shoot them mail. Even our IIT Madras BS professors, which teach you, they need people to work with them. So if not officially through TA-ship and this and that, try to mail them. Tell them I can work. And if you cannot do anything like this, then maybe make a YouTube channel and try to do post videos or something like that. Have some certain presence, something that when they look at you, they know, okay, yes, this person is lively and this person is something outside his academics as well. So yeah, anything you can do. Is it necessary to publish? No, 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 no. I still do not have any research work published. Ravi session. Thank you. Can we meet at your DTU? Oh my God, I am done with DTU. I'm not coming back there again. How do you manage research work? How do I have research internship with the professor? But it's too difficult to keep track. Yes, keeping track is difficult. As in, if you work as in uh, you need to take courses accordingly. You need to make sure, like if you are doing 2 degree, like I used to do DTU ka mechanical engineering and this BS degree, and then if you say I'm doing some internship, this becomes hectic. But my mechanical department was chill. I was not much focused on that grades there because I mean I knew that was only for engineering degree, so I personally never focused much on getting O and A plus. I was satisfied as long as I passed. So this is totally up to you. You need to do trade-offs. This is a very important thing. Like uh, one of my friends, junior, he got into MyTax and DART both this year. So he had opportunity for both uh, Canada and Germany. But in the end, he only had one thing that he can do one because of what do I say? College constraints. He needs to come back to write his end semester exams and all that stuff. So he had to do this trade-off. Then he chose Canada. Why? Because he knew if he does my tax, he will get certain amount to come back. And in Canada, he talked to some person who had already worked with the same professor, same project. He told them he's chill, like work is not more. So he took that thing. So it is totally, you do trade-offs. You think what is up to you to do these things. Sure, I'll connect everyone. Or what do I say? Sorry, I'll accept sorry, LinkedIn requests from you people. Don't worry. I'll do it in bulk. Like when I get, I think everyone will shoot it right now, so I'll do it later. Anything else? If someone has, maybe you can ask some apart from these things because I've already shared the links for opportunities, standard CV template. Don't just don't say ki ab CV. Don't try to copy my CV because I've seen people what they do. They try to copy from someone else's CV. Do not do this thing. And if you are copying, at least change the links. Do not be stupid. Nakal karo to akal se karo. So this is really necessary. If you are trying to, let's say, try to get some points from someone else's CV, then it is necessary that your things should be aligned to you. It should not be like they see your CV. Okay, this is a some work, and they open it and click. Okay, this is someone else certificate. So do not do these things. Like you can take some pointers. Okay, like he has mentioned some subjects. Have I done these subjects? I can replace them with something else. Do I have this certificate? Can I mention something else in place of this? You can follow format. Like I've seen people, can you send me a cold email ka template? These things do not help. These things had to be personalized. What you think is best for you and what you think would be best for the person sitting behind, like professor or maybe selection committee. So lot of gut feeling and hunch feeling is there. Okay, so I think I have addressed everything right now, right?
Yeah, I
Anything
think
is
everything has
left?
been covered well.
Right. Okay, so thank you all so much for attending. I saw, like, I think maximum was 135 participants, and really thankful to everyone who came here.
No,
Thank
this
you.
has
Bye
been one
bye.
of our most successful sessions. People have enjoyed a lot, and I think you have been really great to answer all the questions in so much detail. So thank you, Utkarsh, for taking this session. It was really wonderful to interact with you, and we hope to stay connected with you as well, and so that you
Sure,
can
sure,
guide our students further as well. Thank you so
sure.
much, Utkarsh, and thank you everyone for joining the session. And stay tuned, we have more such sessions coming up. So I hope you'll all join in there as well.
Bye
So
bye.
thank you. Bye bye, everyone. Take care. We wind up the session with this. Thank you.